Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited to be here back again with Holistiplan to give you even more strategies to help market your tax planning services as an advisor. We have a really great session for you today filled with really practical, hands-on things you can implement right away to start marketing the fact that you help with tax planning. And also, Torie from Holistiplan, who's here joining me, is going to show you what Holistiplan offers. And so if you're not already, if you feel like you really need help in being able to confidently say you offer tax planning and can assist your clients with this, their software is amazing. I remember exactly where I was the first time I saw it because it blew my mind with how great it was. And she'll be able to give us a really great high-level overview to show you more of that as well. So while we're just waiting another second or two here for everyone to sign on, if you could let us know in the chat, do you currently use FMG? Do you currently use Holistiplan? Do you use both? We would love to know who we're talking to today. And then bonus, if you want to tell us what you most are hoping to see more of or learn about, that would be really helpful. And we'll just take a look here at what's coming in. Wow, I see so many bolts right off the bat.
I know.
That is fantastic. Awesome. Okay. So let's get started. Keep your answers coming and we will just quickly introduce ourselves. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Samantha Russell. I'm the Chief Evangelist here at FMG. I have been helping financial advisors with their marketing for almost a decade now, which is crazy to say. Previously was on the founding team at 20 over 10, which became part of FMG in 2020. And if we're not already connected on social media, I'd love to connect with you. So please reach out. And if you don't know about FMG, we really offer an award-winning marketing suite. This is a new slide we just put together that I love that has all of our latest awards. You can see top in customer satisfaction, #1 in digital marketing. Our team has been doing great things. So if you haven't checked it out in a while, please reach out. We'd love to share more with you. And Torie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone being here. I am Torie Happe, Head of Partnerships over at Holistiplan. Like Samantha mentioned, to connect with me, LinkedIn, Twitter is also my name handle. So if you want to go there, or my email is listed there. I have also been doing some sort of relationship management, partnership, technology innovation in this space for almost a decade as well. And I feel like I should still be 22 and have easy breezy life, but here we are 10 years later in the industry. So I'm really excited to be here to represent the Holistiplan team. I'm so excited that Sam pulled this latest number for us. So as of this week, 28,000 users on our platform. I started when we had 8,000. So to see it grow in 2 years to 28,000, we have many of you on this call to thank for that. We've had some of the highest scores on the T3 survey, which just came out. And the one that I'm really thankful and proud of and get to stand up here to say with the fabulous team behind me is that we had the highest rated score for customer satisfaction. So we scored a 9.14 out of 10. So we are really excited for that highest score out of all technology that was on that survey for the year. So I just get to be the face, but we have an amazing dedicated team behind me helping all those 28,000 users.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Torie, for being here. And we, like I said, have a lot planned for you all. But we're going to start very quickly because we don't want to beat a dead horse. But just to reiterate, the reason that we're here is because tax planning really is one of the biggest growth opportunities for advisors right now. So if you do follow me on social media, you've probably seen these slides before. They come from Edelman Financial Engine's Wealth in America 2022 report. And I already see questions asking, are we going to get the slide deck? Yes, Jeff, you will. If you need to leave early, you need to zone out for a minute, you're going to get the slide deck and the replay. But you can see here, right? For all Americans, managing your money to minimize taxes is one of the biggest burdens that feels overwhelming, but especially for those wealthy clients that so many advisors specifically are looking to work with. And when we ask the unadvised, or when Edelman Financial Engines ask the unadvised, people who do not yet have an advisor, what do you most want to get help on? You can see here what the list was. And interestingly, number 4, which was tax planning, if you looked at the highest income levels, that was actually number 1 for them. So just some more data. And then the latest one, this just came out last month in January of 2024. I linked it in the bottom there. Definitely a good article to take a look at. It's talking about how so many different areas of wealth management are converging, and the need and the desire for an all-in-one service provider is just exponentially growing between wealth management clients. So from 2018, when they first did this survey, until today, clients preferring to have an all-in-one shop holistic advice has gone up 60%, right? Just astounding. And if we look at what the first two, and on the right-hand corner here, what services do you find most valuable from your wealth institution? Legal services and tax prep really, stand out. So just so many data points to make the argument, which now, we're going to move more into. So if everyone is offering the same services, you quickly stand out if you offer something different, right? One of the things that I've started to realize, though, is that so many advisors, they do, integrate tax planning into their services in some way, whether that means they bring the CPA on and they're coordinating things, or maybe you have a CPA on staff, or you're using tools like Holistiplan to look over the documents and see what could be missing, but you're not marketing it well. And because it is something that all these consumers are looking for, that's where the real missed opportunity lies. So Torie and I are going to encourage you today to start with your website, because obviously that is the hub of all of your marketing and your messaging. So the number 1 tip I have for you today is really to just explain in layman's terms how you can help with taxes, right? So I love this from Streamline Financial Services. When people are looking to hire us, a few common things we hear are, and they have, my advisor seems to focus on investments, but doesn't specialize in tax planning and retirement income planning. Very, very basic, right? It's not getting into the nitty gritty, a lot of different points. This is the homepage. This is the part of your website that you want to just keep it very, very simple. And if somebody's quickly scanning your website, like they do when they first land on it, they're going to have an understanding of what you can help with. Torie, I don't know if you have any sites that you've seen do this in a really good way, or I'm sure a lot of advisors come to you guys too and ask, how can I market this better? But I don't know about you. I thought this did such a good job of keeping it very simple.
Yeah, and I think too, like our industry loves the buzzwords and using acronyms, and that throws a lot of clients off because they don't know what that means. You and I know because we're in the industry. So allowing your website to speak for your firm, you have to be able to speak to the client and where they're at. So I love how this website does that. Like I mentioned, like all the buzzwords our industry has, all the acronyms that we use, just don't sit well with clients. And if they don't understand it, they're going to move on and keep on that Google search. So how they just simply lay it out, I understand what they're doing, and I understand as a client what I'm going to receive.
I love that. And some of you who already use Holistiplan might be wondering, is there a way to promote that? So I already see a question from Greg asking about, is Holistiplan really going to put us in a position to give qualified direction or next steps? Stay on, Greg, because we're going to show more of the software very soon, I promise. But this is a website from John Gladstone. He's actually one of our awesome clients here at FMG. So you can see that on this page, if you go to this page of his website, which I link there, he, says using AI to identify tax opportunities in your financial plan. And it talks about how Holistiplan allows he as the advisor to upload the tax return, and 3 steps, right? We upload the form, we receive a report with key metrics and planning opportunities, and then we dig deeper with scenario analysis. This is very, very client friendly, right? If you start saying, we use Holistiplan, well, the client has no idea what that is, right? So we need to give them more information, but not talking about it at all because you think, well, they're not going to understand, also minimizes the value, because to a client, they're like, wow, they're going to upload my tax return and use AI to find these gaps. So I thought this was such a well done website that John and our team put together. Torie, what do you think about it? I thought it did such a good job.
Yeah, and I just saw someone, I think Michael brought it up, the visuals alone really help the client understand what tax planning looks like in our space. This is a sample return that we sent to John and his team that he could use on his website. He created a visual that is very simple for the client to understand. So I love the fact that they're taking it and making it so simplistic. He almost makes it look like when you and I are checking out at like Whole Foods. You go to the Amazon app, you hit the Whole Foods. Step one is pull up the Amazon app. Step two is hit the Whole Foods button, and step three is scan that QR code to get your discount while you're at Whole Foods. Right? He made it so simple and relatable. Any client can really understand who Holistiplan is and what they're going to do for John and his team and you as a client.
Yes. And I already am seeing questions, if we are working with FMG and we have a list of planner, we plan on using it, can you help us make a page like this? Absolutely. It depends, depending on what package you have, if you're in more of a do-it-yourself package, or if you have more of a higher level, you might need a website, page refresh we could do, or our support team can work with you to just add images like this and messaging like this so that you can have a page built that helps explain the value of Holistiplan. Torie, do you want to maybe now also share, you guys are working on your end too to make it easier for people to have assets that they can put right on their website, which our team at FMG could just plug right in.
Yeah, so we actually worked alongside FMG. We created an incredible marketing kit for advisors to use. So that's been available since I would say like October, November.
Yep.
And in there, it's got visuals that you can add to your website. So like this one, if there isn't a visual in there that you're looking for, again, we can help kind of create one that you're looking for if you're an FMG client. We're also starting to move downstream and then start allowing you to use Holistiplan as a prospecting tool. So, eventually down the line, you'll be able to create a unique URL code, put that on your website. The client can click on that to start the process of sending you their return, so you can use it as a lead generator for you. But yeah, the marketing kit is definitely a great start if you are already a client of ours to grab these visuals. It's got, scripts and all that kind of language that you're looking for and needing for your websites or blog posts that you're wanting to create. So it's a great first step. And then like Sam's mentioning, starting to build out that website page is kind of the next piece there.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So more to come. We're going to show you more things. There's one other website example that I wanted to show. If you are using Holistiplan, this is another FMG website. I'm actually just going to quickly pull it up so that you guys can all see. So when you land on this website here, Torie, can you still see my screen all right?
Yep.
I don't know how to say this. How would you say that? Educo?
Yeah, Educo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advisor group. Sorry if I'm butchering it and you're on this call, but what I love that this advisor did was, I'm sure so many of you are familiar with Loom, which is a service that allows you to video record yourself and your screen at the same time. So what this advisor did was they pulled up the demo information that you can get with Holistiplan. So, a 1040, that's not a real client's, and then the actual information or report that is given. And they made a 2.5-minute video explaining what Holistiplan allows them to do. And so you can see the advisor's face down in the bottom here. You can watch the video if you're a prospect or client, but very, very easy to understand and really demystifies what it is that they're talking about. So if somebody's looking at websites of a couple different financial advisors and multiple of them are talking about tax services and they watch a 2-minute video like this really packs a punch, right? I think that this is just another great example of thinking outside the box when it comes to how do you market this? Because you're doing it, it's an extra service, it's going above and beyond. How do you really market it? And so this is definitely one to bookmark and take a look at. And again, we included a link to it in the slide deck, so you can all take a look at it later. We're already getting a lot of questions, Troy. Maybe you could address this before we move on further about RIAs providing tax advice or prep versus planning. The words definitely matter. Can you talk a little bit about
Yeah, I think we get this a lot, right? There's a fine line between tax advice and tax planning. When it comes to using Holistiplan, we are definitely only giving you're only doing tax planning. Think of Holistiplan as like a giant calculator. So you're uploading that return into our system. We create this report for you. It's just the data that's on that 1040 for the client to understand better. It's, again, it's laid out very nicely for them to see. The observations that are there are just, again, simple observations that you can go and build out scenarios. It's just like when you're building out proposals for your client, you build out different models for them to show. That's exactly what you're doing in Holistiplan. You're building out different tax planning models to go over. Maybe it's a Roth conversion. Maybe, it could be as simple as, hey, I'm getting married. What does it look like when I file jointly as opposed to single? So again, like Sam said, that wording is really important because then once you have shown these items to your client, the client is then going to go to their tax preparer and say, hey, look, we went over this with my advisor. This is what she is suggesting. And then they're going to have that one-on-one conversation with their tax preparer.
Right. And it'll make maybe even more sense once we demo it, which I promise we will
Yeah.
get to. But again, yes, the words do matter. But again, one of the big things about marketing opportunities and how you think about getting your business in front of more people is thinking about what are people looking for? What do they want? We've already established tax planning and answering questions about taxes is one of them, which obviously goes hand in hand with what you do. And people are really searching for answers on their tax questions, right? What I like to remind all of the advisors I work with is that retirement planning and thinking about your investments is often a very in the distant future thing, but taxes come up year after year, every single year. And so they are that pestering pain point that never really goes away. And the rules are changing all the time too. So those two things combined really make it a great marketing opportunity to capitalize on what people have questions about. So this is just a great example from the YouTube channel, Retirement Planning Education. This is a YouTube channel you can go take a look at. Andy does great videos that answer really simple questions, right? How to withhold taxes from Social Security, how much of my Social Security is taxable, things like that. And when people are searching for these videos can then come up. So if you're wondering what people are searching for, what kind of content you can make to direct them more to your page, you can use a simple tool like Google Keyword Planner. You just go look up Google Keyword Planner and you can type in different search queries and see how often people are looking for them. And that will give you an indication of what kinds of questions, people are really asking. I just wanted to mention very, very quickly that one of the best ways that you obviously can promote the things you're doing is via email, right? Once you get someone's email address, however you get it, dripping on them regularly is a really important tool in your tool set to remind them that you're there. So when those pain points come up, they're thinking of you. We are now in tax season. So we at FMG created this really great email. Everybody on the call today is going to get a copy of this in their inbox, hopefully tomorrow when we send out the replay and all the slides. And this is an email that you can use as is. It's going to become in a Word doc, so you can edit it to make it your own. But it's just going to help when you're dripping on those prospects that you have the names for, they're not yet clients, reminding them that you're there to facilitate these conversations and reminding them that the value that you provide, especially this time of year. And if you are a do-it-for-me customer at FMG, we are going to have a prospect version of this, plus the client version, plus a whole bunch more content specifically for you. So excited to have that coming your way. Most of it is dropping next week. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just looking. Were there any questions that came in, Tori, that we want to answer before I move on?
I think we're okay. Some of them were asking about the access to the marketing tools. Oh, someone already answered it for us. Nope, we're
Okay.
good.
All right. So I just wanted to point out, obviously, another way to market the fact that you're, offering these tax services is social media. And I know that taxes and social media don't always go hand in hand because it's like, seems like people go there for entertainment and taxes can be really boring. But I wanted to show you a couple examples of posts that I thought did such a good job. So this one is from this advisor named Mando. And he has, what if I told you you could have no taxes in retirement? And then he says, this isn't a pipe dream, it's a Roth IRA, right? So really catchy, really interesting, very simple, just a great example of how you can talk about taxes in a really interesting, engaging way. And then this is another example from Jeff Hurst, who's a CPA. And he hooks us with that first line, right? Do you think your tax rate will be higher in the future? And then he's showing a chart by Y chart showing historical tax rates for the lowest and the highest tax brackets. And one of the really important things on social media that I hope that you all do, if you don't do already, is keep a lot of white space. Do you see how he doesn't have just one big paragraph, but instead he has lots of little lines kind of breaking it up? That's really important for making it easy for people to scroll and scan. So the good news is, again, if you're on today and you're with FMG, this is actually a social post that we provide. I think I put in here, yes, in our Do It For Me program. So if you go to FMG's site, you can see here's what the post looks like. We partner with Y charts to create some really great charts for these posts. So again, if you're thinking this seems really overwhelming, I'd really love someone to do it for me, definitely check out our service because that's exactly what we do. We create the posts and this all of the content to help you market it, and it looks like you wrote it to really make you the hero of this story. Okay. And I'm going to go just a couple more things, and then I'm going to let Tori give her demo because I know everyone's chomping at the bit. Webinars, as you're all here today listening, this is a fantastic way to get more people aware of your business. Do something that you can teach them about. It's free for them to come and they're going to learn a lot. And people love that, right? Because they can be behind a computer screen. They don't have to show up somewhere and feel like they're going to be sold to. It's not so intimidating. Here's an example of one of our customers, JCL Financial Group. You can see they've got these different webinar presentations on their website. Taxes through the 4 stages of retirement, right? Really, really simple to understand. Again, if you are with FMG, certain levels of our membership packages have the ability where you can go right into our system and you can download these slide decks where we've actually created the webinars, the slides, the assets, all for you. So you don't have to put together all of the slides like me and Tori did today. You can just go in and make it your own. So I'm actually going to show you that really fast because this is probably one of our most underutilized tools that I wish more of our customers were using. And I think it's just that a lot of people haven't learned enough about it. So you can see, Tori, can you see this okay?
Yep.
Okay. So you can see here, it shows you it's the presentation. You can add your logo, you can add a group photo, and then it goes right into the different tax trends, what you should know about what's changing, what the agenda is. Again, this is done for you, but you can edit it. You can take out slides, you can add slides. So getting a webinar on the books is really, really easy with FMG's tools because we've done the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is practice once or twice and then show up and present it. Even better if you can invite, a local CPA or somebody that you do referral business with to join you, because then it takes, some of the pressure off you and you can invite them and tap into each other's network as well.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off, if you're a Holistiplan user, actually in that marketing kit that I mentioned earlier, we have a slide deck very similar to this as well for you guys to use and edit and create. I believe ours we created in Canva, but you can download and use any platform that you have. But we also have the ability for you to, create a slide deck and host a webinar in a matter of minutes, to be honest.
So we're really working together to make it as easy as we can. I also want to point out, if if you again go in there, you will notice that a lot of these images would make for great social posts, right? So look at how beautiful this image is. You can just take a screenshot of it and upload it to your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitter, and say something about it. So just more great visuals that you can use to market the fact that you are talking about taxes with your clients. Okay, so now that we've talked so much about that, let's actually show you what you can teach the clients about their tax situation with Holistiplan. So Torie, I'm going to invite you to share your screen, and then I see a ton of questions in the chat from you all about where to find some of the things I showed you. And after Torie's done, I will go into our dashboard and show you. So if you're an FMG customer, stay tuned for that.
I just want to confirm you can see my Holistiplan dashboard.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I know we've talked a lot about, marketing and that sort of thing, but like, how do you get those marketing pieces, or what do I do after I get that return? So, as you can see, this is our main dashboard. We always post like our most popular webinars up top, upcoming events that we have down here on the bottom. I saw someone mention our onboarding process. All of those webinars are listed here for you as well. We also do a masterclass with Debbie Taylor that really deep dives month by month a different section of the platform for you. So it's always a great resource as well. And then as Sam also mentioned, these are all of our updates we always do, especially during tax season. You'll see many updates, especially state by state. And as those updates are coming in, our team is actually updating them. So if something were to pass, today, you would more likely see that update tomorrow in the system. So you always have the most current tax, law there for you to use. So I'm going to show you guys quickly how to use the platform. So there's a couple of ways. Hit this upload return button or go to your households. I'm going to run into the household section here. We do have integrations with Redtail and Wealthbox, so you can pull over client information so you don't have to re-enter if that's something you would be interested in. I'm going to hop into Katie and Eddie Jones here, have the account created. I can upload their new returns. We are now accepting 2023 returns. I think it was as of last week. It's now officially tax season. So congratulations, we've all made it. Let's get those taxes in there. So you are able to upload the 2023 returns in the system. So you create, choose the year you want to upload, you'd hit next, drop your file in, and within about 45 seconds, this tax report is created for you. As Sam mentioned, there's a lot of pieces on here that you can screenshot and send, again, don't send client data out to the masses, but like if you're talking to a client and they only needed a snapshot, you can run their report and send just a quick snippet, or you have the ability to print this whole report for them. This report, just like much of FMG's items, are customizable. So you're able to upload your logo. If you have disclosures you wanted to put on it, if you're with a broker dealer that we work with, they've already uploaded those disclosures for you. So you don't have to worry about that. So you're in compliance there. And as you can see, you go through this report, again, making it very customizable for you to use. You can move these boxes around. You can edit them, hide them, not edit them, but hide them. It's going to highlight where your client lands in different tax brackets. And then once you get down to the bottom, this is where that tax planning piece really starts. These observations. My observations are going to be very different from Sam's observations because our family makeups are different. The states we live in are different. All of that is taken into consideration when these observations are populated. So you are going to have different options for all of your clients. We do have a great integration with FP Pathfinder. So if they have an article or a checklist that goes along with that observation, you'll see that little icon there to hover over and see what kind of options you have there. We've talked a ton about our marketing kit, so I wanted to point that out. I saw a couple of questions on where do I find that. Under our tools and resource section, if you hover over and scroll over to the marketing toolkit, it'll pop open like this. And like I mentioned, we've got these amazing social cards already ready for you to use. So you just hit download, enter in, customize it to how you see fit, and then post. I mean, It's really that simple. Video scripts. So like the advisor we showed using the Loom video, here's a video script that you can use quickly. Make a Loom video using the video script. And then you've got a really personalized way to interact with clients and prospects. We've got infographics and slides, like I mentioned. This why tax planning matters is probably our number one piece out of the marketing kit that advisors are using. It just explains to clients why tax planning is important and why their firm is kind of implementing tax planning into their books of business. Email and header templates. This is where FMG came into play. They helped us create these headers, templates, all of that. So again, emails for you to just download, enter in some customizable information for yourself, and then you can send out to your clients and prospects. And we make it really easy. You can download the whole tool kit or download just certain pieces of it. So I wanted to point that out. I saw some questions on where to find it. So under the tool section, under the marketing kit there. Since we are like talking marketing, that's kind of where I wanted to stop, but we do again, have that scenario analysis piece where you, the advisor, can go over different scenarios from those observations. So this is where you would do it. It's always going to pull over the most current year return. So my client here, the Joneses, are slightly slacking and they have not given me their 2023 returns. This is also a fake client, so it's just me that hasn't uploaded their new return in here. But if this was the most current year that we have, that scenario would be scenario 1, and then you can build out different scenarios from there. We cap it at 1,000 scenarios per client, so we know that seems like such a wild number, but we didn't want you to feel boxed in by the number of scenarios you can create for them. We also have the scenario recipes here. So again, these are the most frequently asked questions. How do I model? So you would click on what you're looking for. I picked donor advice fund here. It's going to give you all the step-by-step instructions to build it over here on the right. And again, this is a printable item. You can decide how to print it. It's going to pop up as a PDF, and then you're able to send that along with your client as well. So yeah, that's kind of Holistiplan in a 2-minute,
very fast overview
breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know it's a lot to digest, and I know people still have questions. Like Torie said, we worked with Holistiplan, FMG and Holistiplan worked together to create, the marketing toolkit item so that it will really help you market it better. I see a lot of people have questions about, I'm with FMG or I'm with 20/10, which again, our two companies merged back in 2020, but I don't see access to certain things. We do have different package levels, which is probably why. So the best way to figure out what you have access to, what you don't, is to book a time to talk with our team. I'm going to just show you how to do that really, really fast while we're all here together. The easiest way is right now, if you just take a screenshot of this QR code, it will show a time on your phone, and then you can book a demo. Or you can go to get a demo. Even though it says it's a demo, it's really just going to connect you with someone on our team who knows the ins and outs of all the packages, all the levels, what's included in each, and they can walk you through the best option. Obviously, we're here to help, and we want you to have the best tools at your disposal. I did want to mention, though, because this is a newer program, just in the last couple years, we launched this Do It For Me program. So that is our new program where we actually have a marketing strategist that you work with, and every single month there is this calendar that's put out that Susan Theater, our CMO, and I and our content team work to think about, what if we were the financial advisor, what would we want to be posting on social media, emailing clients about, writing blog posts about, to be relevant, to be timely, to think about new tax laws, all that good stuff. And if news breaks, we will write a piece, so that within a day or two, you have something to share. So that email that I said you're all going to get access to earlier, that's something everybody who's here today is going to get. If you're a Do It For Me customer, we also have an example email that you can send to clients, asking them for their tax return. So if you're using Holistiplan, it's a nice way to just say, hey, here's why we need your tax return, and giving them, some guidance. So the Do It For Me program, if you really want the most, ability to just say, yes, I want to learn about this and how it all works, but I really just want someone to do this for me, to plan out my social posts, to write my emails, to communicate with my clients, about, this breaking news, help me write these emails on my behalf. That is going to be the best program to look into. And you saw a lot of the type of content you're going to get in today's session. I did see a bunch of questions though about webinars and just like more about if you do your own webinar, then how do you promote it? One thing I did want to mention, and Torie, I'm sure you've, had advisors that will tell you this and why it works so good. If you host a webinar on taxes and you're just giving away all of this great information, right? Think about how much more of a referable moment that is for your clients. If you email your clients and you say, I'm having this webinar, and you know what, because it's a webinar and we're not doing it in person, you can each send it out to 3 people, 5 people, pick a number, because of a scarcity mindset works better in marketing than just saying anyone you want. But tell them you can invite up to X number of friends, family, colleagues to join you. This will get people they will forward that invitation on. If you're talking about something like taxes and retirement or changes in tax law, right? It's a referable moment that's much easier for them to talk about you and, make people aware of you than if you just say, hey, if you know anybody that, needs a financial advisor, would love to serve them or talk with them, right? So we really love webinars specifically for that reason. And then one final thing I'll just say, learn from our mistakes and what we did wrong. This is really what you want to think about when you are going to promote a webinar. You really want to send 3 emails for optimal performance. So you want to send one like the week before, one the day before, and one the hour before. And I'm sure a lot of you got the emails for this webinar just like that. Maybe you didn't sign up the first time, maybe the second time you finally put it on your calendar, and then the reminder today, woke you up out of whatever you were working on and got you to come and join. So 3 emails is really the optimal number to get the most people to actually have the butts in the seats.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I too don't get discouraged with the amount of people that come to. You're recording it, so you get to repurpose all of this as well. I want people that don't get discouraged that maybe only 5 or 10 people attend. Still record it, still get it out there because A, it's practice, and B, you could repurpose everything from that webinar. You can send it out to the clients that weren't able to attend, or use it as like a prospecting. Hey, if you weren't, look what my firm does. We host these webinars for our clients. Here's a, access to the first webinar that we did or whatever. So I want people to not get discouraged that they don't have, hundreds of folks on at once.
That's such a good point. We had over 1,000 people register for today's, which is wonderful. 8 years ago, whenever I did my first webinar, it was 28 people that signed up. And I think there were 4 that joined. And I pretended like I had a room full of people to talk to. And I was so excited, right? Because the people on the other end don't know. And at the end of the day, 4 people coming to listen to you talk about something, those are really qualified prospects. It doesn't really matter how many show up. And now you have this asset that you can just repurpose from marketing purposes. You can make little clips out of it,
Yep.
that you can share on social media. We just did a webinar last month on webinars and how to repurpose them after. So we can share the link to that if you want to learn more. But these are it's just such a great way, again, to share this expertise. So I know we've shared a lot in a short period of time. I want to make sure we get any other questions. So we'll look through those questions. Torie, you and I can look through the chat or the Q&A box and see what other questions we need to address. I just wanted to share while we're doing that, some of the great quotes we have from people that are loving our new Do It For Me program. Again, definitely check that out. And there's the QR code to book a time. I also put my direct email in the chat if you want to contact me directly if you have a specific question. But really the quickest way to find out, again, like what package you have or level you're on with FMG is to connect with our team. And Torie and I, like we mentioned before, would also love to connect with you on social media or via email. So I'll leave this up here as well while we answer some questions. All right. a question that came up a couple times, Tori, is have you heard of any advisors saying that CPAs or accountants, like how is this received by them? Is anybody getting upset by advisors offering these services?
Yeah, the answer is no. Your CPA or tax preparers, got to think about it. They're playing defense. They only look at your taxes after the fact. They're not there to help the client, you know, in any cost saving manner. They're just there to like file the return and then keep moving. We had a perfect example just told today with the team that, you know, their client uses the same CPA that their parents did. The gentleman is older and forgot to add on, you know, a tax rider that they were gonna receive because this client turned 64. And the advisor ran the return through Holistiplan and it actually caught it and showed them that they missed $1,000 savings. So they were easily able to send that back to the CPA and get additional $1,000 back. And that was just like one thing that came up today
That's
alone.
awesome.
So it really brings up these, you know, great conversations and kind of bridges that gap between the advisor and the tax preparer. So I haven't heard of a CPA be mad yet that the advisor has come back and said, hey, by the way, if you just click this little button on there, that the client saves an additional, you know, $1,000.
Yeah.
So we'd love to
So
hear, you know, those stories.
I love that. And just that story alone makes me think, and I saw somebody ask it, because of the power of what you as the advisor, the intel you now kind of have access to, are advisors charging extra for these services, are you finding, or are they just including it in their comprehensive financial planning?
Most are adding it to their comprehensive plan. Again, I think the industry again ebbs and flows on are you going to charge BIPs or are you charging a flat fee? So again, it just depends. Most of them are adding it to their overall, you know, plan. But if they are charging, they're not charging much for it. Our pricing for our platform is $1,000 a year. So reality is you know, that's 75 uploads. You're getting as the advisor, it's a $12 fee per client that you're going to put in there on average. So
Yeah.
the
And I could
value that you're
see,
giving to your client. Yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, I could see, like you mentioned, the different models with more and more advisors offering subscription level models, especially for those
Mm-hmm.
folks who don't have enough AUM for them to justify, you know, that type of a model. Younger clients, families with most of their, you know, wealth tied up in 401ks still. I could see how you say we have a subscription model, and as part of that, this is what's included, and that could be, you know, very
Yeah.
enticing.
Yeah.
If you're already using Holistiplan and you want to share, I saw somebody already did. They said they do. Michael said he does charge separately. If you want to let us know, I'd be curious to see, poll the audience here. Do you charge separately
Yeah.
for it or not? And a couple people asked again if we will be sharing all of this great information, all of the slide decks, the recording. Yes, you're going to get all of that. While I have you here, because I saw so many questions again about where certain things are. I'm just going to quickly here, exit. If you are an FMG customer and you come into the content library here and you're looking specifically for webinar slide decks or just tax information, if you just type tax up here, it's where it says explore the content library, you can search or you can see all of the different matches that come up. And in the library, then you'll see all of the different content separated by content types that we have that you can use. And because I have a demo account, I have access to, you know, everything, and it'll kind of say whether it's do it for me, what it's specifically to. So you can even see, you know, we have Instagram. We just started a new program where we have Instagram reel scripts. So if you want to start making Instagram reels or videos, we have the scripts for you. You can see if it's a downloadable, a social post, an email, an article. And then if you want to use it, you can use it, or you can look at details first and get that information. And then you can have everything queued up and ready to go. So you can see here under shared, I had kind of in advance of today's session, prepared a social post that the one that I showed you before, right? So the one that I can't remember the CPA's name, but he had shared it on his feed. This is what it looks like in the library, right? So you're able to come in here and you can either say use it as is, or you can edit it. Depending on who your compliance officer is, if you're with a broker dealer, there's some things that can go straight out if you don't edit them. Other things do need to go through compliance first, but all of the compliance is handled through our system, which is wonderful. And just makes it really, really easy depending on what you have set up, right? So I only have LinkedIn connected, but if you have Facebook connected, you can also connect to your Canva. So if you have somebody on your team using Canva to make really great images, you don't want to use the ones we provide, you can do that. Just makes it really, really easy to promote the fact that you're doing all of this wonderful stuff for your clients. So I'm going to look back through the chat here. Tori, any other questions that you saw?
I think someone asked to compare Holistiplan versus eMoney. We get this question a lot. So eMoney is a financial planning tool with a tax option. It doesn't really deep dive as far as we go. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen it in a while, the client's tax return, they're looking at the taxes based off the client portfolio. So, what is the underlying holdings of that portfolio? So, where we are actually looking at the person's taxes, not the portfolio. But I love eMoney's platform in general, but again, they are more of a financial planning tool as opposed to where we are strictly a tax planning solution.
Awesome. Good answer. Okay, well, we want to be aware of everybody's time and not take up your entire day. So Tori, if you don't see anything else, I think that just about covers it. Thank you all so much. And I hope you feel more equipped to walk away with some ideas of how to better market the fact that you're providing tax planning to your clients and it's such a valuable service. And again, we are here to help. So please reach out to Tori, to FMG, Holistiplan, me. We would love to talk with you and share more. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
everyone.
Tori.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.